back. We're live and doing another Wendy's mukbang. Your girl's having some major cravings right now. And if you haven't noticed, it's been for Wendy's lately. So today, I have some spicy chicken nuggets, a loaded baked potato, and a Dave's double. What you got?
I got a Baconator double. I add lettuce and tomatoes because it tastes just like a junior bacon cheeseburger when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Fries and forgot to bring out my chili. Will I be able to actually eat all of this? Probably not. Large chili and they forgot this. They forgot the sauce. Sorry. If you get chili from Wendy's, it's that sauce is what tops it off.
What sauce are you talking about?
It's like this hot, spicy sauce that they normally would put with the chili, but dang.
Well, I mean, when you kind of near the hood and you go to the hood restaurants, you got to expect, them to screw up your order a little bit. Let's just call it what it is. Which brings us to today's discussion. Speaking of welfare, well, how is it destroying the middle class? I honestly think that having welfare makes things like inflation even worse because you got people out there getting money for free, not putting anything into the economy, but just literally taking away from it. And then you have hardworking people who have to pay taxes and who are subject to interest rates and everything, who suffer because of it.
And here's my thing. There are some people that maybe need welfare. So this is not, what should I say? It's not precisely directed at you, but I'll put it to you this way. I'll tell a story. When I was younger, I ran into a rough patch in life, so I went for food assistance. Went for food assistance. What can I say? They started me off at $60 a month. Not a lot, I know.
No.
And then I would like to say a month or maybe 2 months later, they dropped me down to $15. And then I'm like, $15 isn't going to help me out at all. And then this is what they said. They was like, well, as a single person, you make too much. Now, my gross, I kid you not, my gross at that point for a year was 15,000. Now, that's before Uncle Sam takes his big wet bite out of you and all that other stuff that they take out your check. So I at that point I yelled at the person. I was like, if I wouldn't even be here if y'all wasn't taking so much out my check for taxes and stuff like that. So long story short, I got off of it because it was no point. It was more of a lengthy process, and let's just say the what should I say? The juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
It sounds like it. It sounds like more trouble and hassle, even for just $60 a month. That wouldn't even help nobody at the end of the day.
It,
Certainly not now with today's grocery store prices. Are you kidding? The only people who are really probably buying money or buying a lot of groceries at one time are people using food stamp cards and stuff.
well, here's go where I'm getting at. There are some people that need it, but there are some people that take advantage of it. Because when I told a few of my coworkers about my situation, quite a few of them was like, "Oh, like I tell you how to get over on that. Just tell them you homeless. Tell them you homeless, and you'll be like me. I didn't want to already. What should I say? Yeah, I didn't want to sacrifice what little dignity I had at that point just to get more money. So I just said screw it. I would do without it and try to figure out how to make things work, which I did. But yeah, you got some people that just tell lies just to get more money, and I feel those are the ones that's really taking advantage of the welfare system.
May I have a napkin? I'm sorry.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
I was trying to
Shouted.
snatch it from her, but she was quicker than I thought.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because I saw this TikTok and this black woman who was talking about how Part of the problem with welfare is that black people are not given enough. She was saying that if the government would give black people something like $40,000, like just a check for that much, then they would never need to go back. She was saying that the reason that black people continually seek government assistance is because the help that they receive is not enough to get by, and so therefore they're stuck to it like a baby to its mother's nipple. Like you need it at that point.
Oh.
And I didn't agree with that. Hey y'all, thanks for joining. We appreciate you. And if you can, please hit that like button. You know you are so appreciated. But my whole thing about it was the conversation was like, it sounds like you're blaming the government for not giving you enough money. And then the money they are allocating to you, you're not doing what you should with the funds. Because if I was given free money, you know what I'm saying? And I guess because I actually have income, I would be doing something like saving or investing. You know what I'm saying? Versus just blowing it on the latest sneakers or concerts.
How do I put this? I get where she's coming from because it can seem like that, but the fact is, anything that supplements, like, what should I say, that helps save you money, it's up to you how to make the most of it. Like, let's be honest, we all know people that, or should I say, the average person at least knows one person who lives high above their means. It's like they're struggling, but yet they'll go buy the latest pair of sneakers or the latest game system, or still going out to eat fast food all the time when it's been proven to be cheaper and more cost effective to cook large meals that last 2 to 3 days at home. But I mean, then you also, I mean, I feel that yes, the government sometimes don't give people enough to, what should I say, get out their situation. But here's the thing: they're not really supposed to get you out your situation. They're just trying to get you by temporarily. You supposed to, I hate to say it, you made your bed. You supposed to get you dug your grave. You got to get yourself out of it. So just by using that temporary assistance is almost like somebody just giving you a leg up temporarily. So it's like, if you're not making the best of it, or say for instance your own food assistance, and rather than supplementing, you're using that to like help save you money, you decide, oh, this food assistance, I'm going to have a barbecue every single time or whatnot. Then how's that helping? You should be taking that food, maybe buying a freezer, storing it, trying to save money, and figuring out how you can cut back and budget. That way you can slowly start saving, and maybe not save in the bank. They monitor that.
Well, the part of the big idea of the welfare system is this: it's not a teat for you to suck off for years. It was just meant to get you by until you were able to support yourself. Meaning, at some point, you would either further your education or get another job, whatever you need to do to supplement your income so that you don't need to be getting this government assistance. Some people are too lazy to get a job and get money. They would rather rely on the government to take care of them. That's the major reason right there.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, it's free. Why would I try any harder?
I'll give an example. During the pandemic, a lot of companies sent their employees home, but well, I don't want to say the particular company, but I mean, you guys probably know because we work for the company. I don't want to say the company's name. But they sent their employees home like, hey, if you had a child or if you had an elderly parent, go home and do this. Like, go home, don't work, and we'll pay you. What was it? Was it 50 or 60% of their income?
I think it was 70, to be honest with you. I think it was 70.
Gosh dang, 70? Okay, so we had a bunch of people at home during the pandemic for this company getting paid literally 70% of their income just to sit. Me, I didn't have any kids and I didn't have any elderly people, so I had to get out there and work. But you know what? I know it sounds bad, and I apologize to anybody who's offended by this. So I'm just going to say it. Although the pandemic hurt a lot of people, the pandemic was kind of a blessing in disguise for me because at that point, I worked so much overtime that I was like, and once you hit like a certain amount of hours, it's like they paid you double. Like once you got over, what was it? Over 10 hours a day, anything over 10 hours was double. And I mean, anything over 60 hours a week was basically double. And I was working close to maybe 16 to 18 hours a day. I was tired as heck, but I made money hand over fist. And it's what allowed me to kind of purchase my home during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I don't know if you guys remember, the year 2020 is when the major shutdown happened for where we were at. And that was also the summer that I had my daughter Luca. So when we were able to, I did opt to stay home and just get paid. Not because, I was looking to be lazy and have somebody take care of me. It's because I had a newborn child and there was some random weird disease floating around that was killing people and I wasn't trying to get it and bring it home to my baby, nor send my baby to places that she would be exposed before we knew what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? But once, everything opened back up and vaccines and all that, and I mean, you get to a point where you're more comfortable going back into public. So I'm not there anymore at this point.
The roads was excellent to drive on during that period. I remember I was drag racing the guy down. I won't tell the street, but let's just say hardly nobody was driving during that time. So it was like a drag race free for all between me and that guy.
Oh my goodness. You would. This one here drives too fast. He say I drive too slow, but I just do what's called the speed limit.
I do what I call rule of thumb, and if I see enough people going fast, that just means that I need to go a little faster.
No, I'm not that much in a hurry. Hey, LG. Appreciate y'all for showing up. We're just talking about the welfare and how, you got people who make excuses about how it's not enough, and you got people who feel like me and they feel like it is too much, and that's why people won't try to do harder or work harder and actually get themselves into a better place.
I feel like it should have a like a expiration, like a finite expiration. Like it shouldn't be indefinite. Kind of like, okay, for instance, um, if you are a college student and you went, it's only so many or so much of Pell grants that you can get. Basically, the what is it, the free college assistance that you can get before it's like, okay, you reached your limit, you're cut off.
Yeah, and it's only so much, which is never enough for an actual like university. Like when you're going to a community college, the Pell Grant, it can take care of you in your school year if you're going to school like part-time. But if you're trying to go full-time, it's not enough. And it's like I said, it's nothing at a university. Certainly not now. And that was, I'm thinking back on prices when I was going to school. That's already 10 years ago now.
It feels like they're trying to make college unaffordable. And then let's be honest, degrees don't even do anything major now because
Yeah.
everybody has one.
Well, I mean, only certain degrees. Like you almost have to like really, really go to school and specialize in something if you want a degree, like, or I'm sorry, if you want a good career path, because going to school and just getting a bachelor's in business administration or something is not going to do anything because there's too many people who have that. There is no excuse for a single person with no kids to be on any type of government assistance. Go get a second or third job. Yeah. Unless that person is physically disabled, get up and go work. Yeah. I absolutely agree. And even people who have children, at a certain point in time, if you have one child and you're on government assistance, why are you getting pregnant with another? You know what I'm saying? Like, we were just talking about this the other day, like about how, you know what, sometimes abortions is probably the way to go, because you're not going to be able to afford the kid. You're just going to be a burden to society and each and every person around you, looking for handouts, wanting people to babysit your kids, especially for free and stuff. And people,
I'll be
they're
honest.
not going to want to do that.
I'm a pro-lifer, so yes, I might be eaten up in these comments later on, but I'm a pro-lifer. So what I would say is, and but I do agree that not everybody should have a kid, and sometimes you need to think of your financial situation before you birth a child into this world. But the best way is preventative measures. Use contraceptives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Won't have that issue.
Hey, and if you know what, at the end of the day, if that's not an option, abstinence always is.
I know no such thing.
This is because it's easy to have another baby, but try to get off your feet. It's a hard for the lazy and stupid people. Exactly. Sometimes people don't care. We still procreate while still being broke and homeless. I know. I know. I literally just did a story on that the other day too. Like, homeless people just having kids, and I just don't understand that. Like, how CPS doesn't immediately take your kids. Like,
Mm.
I want to work, but I can't. It really upsets me that there are a lot of people who hard work, but they still have their hands out. Period. You know, and then you have even people who are disabled who still, work and contribute to society somehow. You know what I'm saying? I see people, even if you're just a greeter at a grocery store or something like that, you're still doing a job. You're still earning your own income. Like, I don't frown down upon anybody or any job. I would rather see a person working rather than just talking about how the money they're getting isn't enough.
And how do we put this? And you know what? It's how do I put? I just feel that some things are backwards. Like, and you'll have a single person working two jobs, maybe even three jobs, can barely make it due to inflation and everything. But then you have somebody that doesn't work a job. They're getting this government housing money given to them, food stamps, where you see them with like a brand new car in a nice apartment, but you got the guy or the woman struggling with two or three jobs, can barely get ahead. So it's just it's really it's a messed up situation all the way around. It needs to be some type of balance, better balance than what's currently being presented to us.
I just want to stop and thank you guys again for watching. Please hit the like button if you're just stepping in. We so appreciate that as well. Um, we're just Wendy's mukbanging right now. I am more than halfway through this double now. Well, I guess kind of halfway through. I've had 3 of my spicy chicken nuggets and a decent amount of the baked potato too. I am impressed with my appetite today. But then again, this is like the second time I've ate today, and the last time I ate was at like 10 something this morning. So, and it's currently like what, 6:30.
Thought it was closer to 7.
Might even be that late. So it's been probably a good 8 hours since I ate last. So your girl was on E. Let's see. I completely understand. You have a valid excuse to be on government assistance, but for a woman who keeps having kids, getting assistance is unacceptable, especially for a girl man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, at times are rough, especially now. And I understand there are a lot of Americans right now that are homeless. And you have a lot of people who feel like, hey, there's, an empty abandoned building somewhere, and there's people that could afford to just renovate those and turn them into small affordable housing for them, or shelters almost, so these people don't have to be on the streets, because it is quite dangerous. You hear about people ending up getting raped, shot, robbed, all kind of stuff. because they're just on the street, and then there's so many people living in tents and stuff, you can get away with it.
Well, I'll be honest. That's fine and dandy, and I'm not gonna say that would never happen. But the fact is, America was built on capitalism, and I mean, I know this sounds bad, but unless, and this is just my way of thinking, and it's not the best, but me, if I was in a position where I had the money to do that, I know it sounds bad, but what's in it for me? How can I benefit? Yes, I can go out there and what do they call them? Philanthropists? Is that what they call them? No. Where they help like generally help the public or whatnot.
I don't think it's philanthropists. I think what volunteers? I don't
Well,
know.
basically, I could be one of those people going out there and doing good for the rest of the world, but I mean, like I said, in America, we run on capitalism. So most people who have the means are thinking like, what's in it for me? Now, I'm not saying that everybody's like that because you do have some people that create these major foundations that do a lot of good in the world. But I mean, you got
Well, I
you
mean,
got more people who have the means but don't do anything than
and
those who do.
and even government money is being sent to like other countries, you know what I'm saying? And I get like other countries may be in dire straits, like, Ukraine. I have heard that the US has sent probably millions of dollars by now, which again, they could just take an old abandoned factory somewhere down there by Skid Row, renovate it, make it, a suitable shelter for those people. But at the same time, it's like, and then what? You know what I'm saying? You get them off of the street, but then are you going to take the street out of those people, or are they going to turn that, beautiful renovated shelter into a trash heap, just like how the streets look right now?
Hmm.
And that would be my fear. Excuse me. I feel like unless the person's mindset changes, it's a complete waste of time and money. Just like how the government dollars are being spent on these welfare queens and these baby mamas who refuse to get married and actually have solid families, but just procreate with every boyfriend or every dude that just decides to sleep with them. Like, just like how you have those people, the mindset is never going to change, or I'm sorry, the behaviors will never change until the mindset does. So until people start thinking that this is actually wrong, then you know what I'm saying, nothing's going to happen. It's going to continue to be the same rigmarole.
I
So
actually wanted that fry.
don't put a fry near a pregnant woman if you want to eat it. Who does that? I'm
I
thinking
know
he's
now.
offering it to me, like,
I was just
whatever.
gonna mess with you, but okay.
You want one of these chicken nuggets?
Nah, I pass. Thank you though.
Whatever. I'm like super full. I'm trying to give it a little time though, because you know how sometimes you can, let it seep down into your stomach a little more and you can get a little room, but I don't know. This was a lot of calories. Let's just put it like that. And I am no contender for your Nikocado avocados, your foodie beauties, your Amberlin Reeds. I can't contend with people that are 500-600 pounds. I can't eat like that. My stomach doesn't stretch that far. And see, some people need to stop making excuses for being broke. Yeah, that part. Like, I don't know. Again,
Mm,
it's the
that's
mindset.
that's a hard. I don't know because that's a hard thing because I mean then that brings into like broke is kind of subjective. I mean for a single person making 50,000 a year, well in Michigan can make it just fine, but to other people it'll be like, oh that's broke. You can't take nobody out. You can barely make it yourself. So I don't know. That's a kind of a subjective thing, but I do agree that some people. Oh, you must be putting up your food because you know he's gonna be reaching for it.
No. Look who I got. Look
He's
at him
already
looking at my
going for
food.
it too. Let me move that back a little bit,
He's like,
buddy.
what's that? You guys been over here eating something?
But that's my opinion on broke because it's more like, and then I mean, heck, even depending on your situation, even if you're making a decent amount of money, if you didn't manage it the right way, you can still be broke.
And let's be real, depending on where you live, certain amounts of income mean more or less. Like if you're living in Manhattan, $100,000 a year ain't nothing. But I mean, if you were here, it's a great amount of money for one person to make. So making 50,000 a year is good. Yeah, but you have some women who won't even date a guy that makes $50,000 a year. What do you think about stuff like that when you see those women that are like, don't even date if you're making $50,000 a year? Like,
Okay, this is going to be off subject, and I've said this probably during one of your videos, and some women get really appalled when I say this, but I've said this before, and I stand by this. All women, and again, hear me out, all women are prostitutes. And the reason why I say that is because regardless of whether you go to an actual prostitute or you're trying to date a woman, you're still going to be spending money on them. Now, it's all about which woman is within your price range. So I'll put it to you like that. So for women who claim $50,000 ain't enough, well, they just saved you a hassle, because that means that you're not in their price range and they're not in your price range. But hey, most of the ones that think like that, they're not worth it anyway. Unless you just trying to flex and do a short term thing with them, because if that's the case, then retrieve, hit, and then dismiss. But if you're looking for something long term, you don't want a woman like that anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you think that $50,000 a year is not a decent amount of money, then maybe that man just wouldn't be the person for you. But obviously there's somebody out there where that would be sufficient. So I think you're right. Broke is subjective, because depending on who you're talking to, that can mean a lot of different things. Some people, if all they have $100 in their account, they look at it as I'm broke. And then some people, if all they have is 100, they looking at it like I still got some money. So
and let me just clarify, because I know I'm probably going to get eaten up later. I don't literally mean all women are prostitutes, but I mean when it comes to dating tends to be in the beginning more of a transactional thing. Like the guy is expected to pay for her, and by expecting to pay for her, it's like I'm expected to pay for our dates, our drinks, our food. So therefore you're coming off money just to basically be with her. And if you compare that to like a prostitute, you're coming off money just to kind of be with that prostitute. Okay, enough
I do
on
not
that.
get that. I will never understand. He can try to explain that until he's blue in the face. I will never agree with that or understand
Some
it.
of you guys feel me out there. Trust me.
All women are prostitutes. Think about what you just said.
But I don't mean it.
I
don't mean it in the sexual way.
Like,
I just mean it. I mean it in a transactional type of way, because it's like.
So wait a minute. I'm your wife.
Okay, let's put it down. We met during the pandemic, but had we not met during the pandemic, wouldn't you had expected me to pay for our dates? Yes or no? Just be honest.
I mean, it just if you invite me out, okay,
no.
yeah.
It's just simple. Yes or no?
Can I say what I need to
stuttering.
say? Listen, it's well, I'll use your word. It's subjective, because at the end of the day, if you ask me out, then yeah, I expect you to pay. Okay. But if I ask you out, if I say, hey, let's go to the movies this weekend, I'll expect to pay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to ask you to go somewhere and then expect you to pay for it. I'm not that kind of person.
I've never encountered that.
That's because when we go out, I'll literally offer to pay, and then he's like, no.
I'm talking about before I've dated my wife. I've never encountered that with other women. So traditionally, guys are expected to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're expected to pay, it becomes more of a transaction thing, right? I'm like paying for your time almost, or I'm paying for you to hang with me, or whatnot. It's not like it's not like, hey, let's go out and we both did Dutch.
No, it's not. Well, okay, yeah, you have situations like that, and depending on your situation, that might have to be the case. But like, don't invite me out to Roof Chris, and then you don't know my financial situation, and then expect me to go Dutch, because you invited me to this expensive place. So now I do look at you like you should pay, because if you got the freaking balls to sit here, the kahunas to say, hey, let's go here, then yeah, you should pay.
So then ultimately,
if I'm expected to pay, I'm cool with Applebee's.
okay, so ultimately, if a guy is paying or whatnot to be with you, in a sense, what is the difference between me paying to be with you and me paying to be with the girl that's shaking her boobs and breasts on the corner?
Okay, because if you're gonna get the prostitute, that's instant gratification. You had to actually like
Sometimes
talk.
that's a lot easier.
But I mean, you didn't have conversations at night with them. You know, we would stay up on the phone and talk, FaceTime, you know, until we got really tired.
That was me that was me putting forth the dues so that I can get into the panties.
You just didn't, he didn't enjoy those late night conversations. Like, okay. I wasn't having him crack up and stuff.
Okay, yeah, right. Enough of this. Let's move on.
Whatever. How convenient. Okay, girl, he got your tablet. All right. The kids is getting antsy now. We might have to go. I don't know how much longer I can keep them quiet. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, people just need to start being responsible for their own stuff. And when it comes down to it, if you like Michael Jackson said it, if you can't afford to feed your baby, don't have the baby. Like, why do you have more than one kid and you're on welfare, government assistance, Section 8? That shouldn't even have like happened. Like, you should have learned after the first time, like, you were broke.
Wait, Michael Jackson actually said that?
I think that was one of his songs, one of his lyrics. What song was that? Somebody tell me in the comment section.
I'm like, what's
that? If you can't
like?
feed your baby, don't have the baby. I don't know what song it was, but I feel like that was a Michael Jackson song.
And I feel like, I mean, I don't know Michael Jackson personally, but
was it Billie Jean?
But
was it Billie Jean?
That might have popped in my head, maybe Billie Jean, but I wasn't sure. That's why I'm like, and I just felt like Michael Jackson shouldn't have been the one to comment on kids for some reason. I'm sorry. That's wow. Right. I'm sorry, Michael MJ. I love your music. Some people theorize you're still out there somewhere. So if you are, don't hate me, MJ. And do a phenomenal comeback concert, you know, in another country. That way, if you faked your death, you won't get in trouble.
You know, he'll be coming back like Thriller for real, like a zombie. And somebody said, "Wanna Be Starting Something" was off the Wall album in 1979. Oh, Wanna Be Starting Something. Oh, okay. See, I knew it had to be something. Thank you. That's why I like having, you know, the generation, like, you know, a little bit older than me, because sometimes y'all be having all the information I need.
No, that's rude. That's rude to that person, because they might actually be our age. They might actually like Michael Jackson music.
No, I think he's told me before he's a little older than me.
I'm 37 and I listen to the Drifters.
Yeah,
one of my favorite songs.
Elijah E. Turbo Russ, shout out to you. You've been a subscriber for a minute too.
Heck, one of my favorite songs is "Stand By Me." When the night has come.
Where the baby at?
Where the baby?
Speaking of, oh, there you go.
Wait, you can't let Tornado crawl around. Here, let me go over there.
Luca got him. I think she crushed him or something. He all right.
Okay.
Builds character.
Okay.
But yeah, we probably do have to get off of here, you guys. We appreciate you so much. And we will see y'all next time. Don't forget to hit the like button. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. What do you think about welfare? Is it destroying the middle class? Because I surely think it is. And I think that's part of the problem right now with inflation. You guys let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.